Hi everyone, Alan here. And I realized I made everybody wait about 5 years to see how I do this triple cut. Everybody loves this triple cut. It's all in the comments for years and years and years. How do you do the triple cut? Originally I said I wasn't going to teach it or do a tutorial. I was uncomfortable. There's a magician, I think, named Brian Nordstrom. No, it's not Brian Nordstrom. I can't recall his name. It's Brian something. And he invented something called the revolution cut, which is a one-handed cut, unlike the Charlier, where you rotate the top packet down to the bottom. And I didn't teach the triple cut because it included that. I think it's been enough time. I don't think anybody really cares. If there's a big problem with it, I'm sure Brian will see this video and ask me to take it down if he has an issue. But there are a lot of moves being taught all over YouTube. I don't think it's that big of a deal. So, plus I've added my own take on it, so it's a little different anyway. It uses a similar technique to get to the top to the bottom, but there it is. That's why I originally didn't show it. Anyway, here it is. 5 years later, the triple one-handed cut. I don't really have a name for it. I should probably come up with some cool one-word title for it, like penicillin or something. I like it. That seems to be the trend these days. So just get some evocative word and name your magic trick or your move that, right? But anyway, it's a triple cut with one hand. You can call it whatever you want to. I don't care. You can call it the AP cut. All right, that's my initials, AP cut. So here's what it looks like. That's slowed down. Of course, you can do that much faster if you care to. You can add a little hand movement there so you can kind of get like a little bit of jitteriness, whatever you want. It's a revolution cut plus a double Charlier. So the idea here, if you know how to do a Charlier, you're fine. I don't imagine anybody's asking about this cut that doesn't already know a Charlier. Okay, so I'm going to skip that entirely. The double Charlier, a little different. Maybe some people haven't seen that. So here's what that looks like. The double Charlier, you allow about a third of the cards to drop into your palm. Oh, before we start that, let's start with proper technique at the beginning. Straddle grip, okay? Holding the cards with my pinky, middle ring, and index finger in kind of a cradle, okay? My thumb resting on top. The first thing that happens is I allow a third of the cards to fall. That means I have to move my index finger because otherwise this holds these cards up at an angle. I want them to fall flat in my palm. So my index finger moves out of the way. Then it grabs about another third of playing cards and splits them off like that. So now what I really have here is everything's still completely under my control. Nothing's floating or moving around. Whenever I see people trying to learn Charliers or one-handed shuffles, those kinds of things, everybody always forgets the pinky. They want to do it without the pinky, and everything tends to slide around. Now, I've still got pretty good control. I've been doing this for a long time, and I know how to kind of keep the cards in my hand. But use the pinky. It's a nice stop. Look, I've got this little cradle here where these cards just rest with the pinky, the ring in the middle. They're not going anywhere. They're going to rest there, okay? So don't worry about it. And then these two packets are kind of all held together with just pressure from the index finger. I'm pushing not very hard, but enough that this bottom packet is pressed into the crotch of my thumb, and then the thumb props up this. So you got a nice little triangle, your thumb making the last edge of the triangle. They're not going anywhere. This packet resting there, it's going to slide on your nail. I'll do this from a couple of different angles. This is kind of, if you do a one-handed shuffle, it's very similar to that same move. I'm extending my ring, middle, and pinky finger as much as I can, and I'm pulling up with my index finger to separate both sections like that as much as I can. Okay? Once you do that, you got to clear your index finger and the bottom packet. Okay? So this top packet now gets pushed to the bottom, squared, and then my ring finger is getting ready to grab this top packet. The way I'm doing this is I am rotating the top packet with my thumb around my index finger, towards my fingers. Not this way, not towards yourself, but away from yourself, towards your index finger, okay? Or towards your ring finger. So it rotates down, my ring finger grabs that packet, and I'm going to transfer the grip from the thumb to the ring finger and index finger. My middle finger's just getting the heck out of the way. I'm going to continue to pivot the top packet around my index finger using the momentum of my ring finger extending until that packet falls, and then I close the thing up. That's basically what it looks like. Now, if you guys notice throughout the video, I slowly have been leaning to one side. That's because I have my phone stuck to the wall with sticky tack, and it doesn't want to grip it that well. So, one more time from the top. Third falls. Notice the position of my fingers, ring finger middle on the bottom, pinky on the edge, so the cards won't slide off and fall on the floor, which will happen with a lot of, I see it happen with a lot of newcomers. Index finger grabs a third. The fingers extend. The top packet falls underneath that little triangle and is squared by the pinky, ring, and middle into what now becomes one packet. And then my thumb rotates the deck down around my index finger until my ring finger can grab this edge here. And then it's really just floating there. It's really just floating there. Okay? Ring finger keeps extending, index finger curls in. Packet falls, and I close it up.